Myron, you were talking about how you read a comment in the paper about Tracy Barlow saying, what did he say?
It said in there that the city of Edgewater needed Bishop's Towing and Universal Towing to make the towing more efficient for the city. And so that's saying, saying to me that I'm inefficient.
Now, was that in Robert Lott's Observer newspaper, the weekly, or was that in the News Journal?
That was in the News Journal.
Okay, and so what?
So from there, I mean, I phoned up the News Journal, and they directed me to Mark Johnson.
Was he the one that wrote the story?
And he was the one that wrote the story. And I left a message to him saying what was going on. He asked me for some letters that had gone back and forth from the city on contracts and things like that. And he never got back to me. He left a message. I said, could you do a editorial or something, or just
a follow-up story?
Follow up. Ask my side what's going on.
Did he ever ask your side to begin with?
No.
So he wrote a story without your input?
No reporter has been to me from the newspaper asking anything.
What about any of the newspapers?
None.
So NSBnews.net is the only one that's...
You're the only one that came up and asked me what was going on. And I was amazed. Somebody finally...
Well, I couldn't help it. I saw the signs.
Well...
Somebody told me you were putting up a sign.
Excuse me,
I couldn't believe it. I went there and...
I have floodlights on them at night so people can see. And the whole thing is now...
So let me get this straight. You have the Daytona Beach News Journal. You have the Weekly Observer newspaper. You have the Weekly Hometown News. And you have NSBnews.net. And NSBnews.net is the only one that saw the signs?
You're the only one that has come up and asked me questions about what's going on. Has taken any interest at all. I mean, I'm left out to dry. I mean, nobody cares.
Now, from your point of view, the fact that the newspaper reporter didn't show any interest in you, the city, the other tow business operators, I guess being a family man, having all the 16 or 17 employees, like you said, cutting down your own salary and relying more with your wife to help out your employees. You said that you took out an ad. I mean, you took out some kind of membership with the chamber in early August?
I took out a membership because I figured, well, maybe I could get in and
generate some more customers?
Yeah, generate some customers, some more business, because I seem to be losing some. But I paid them the money.
How much?
I think it was $250 for Edgewater Towing, and they gave me the other for Myron's Auto Service. I think it was half price.
So you paid $250 plus half that?
I think it was a total of $300 or $350, because they said Roy Bishop had done the same thing, so they'd give me the same rate that they'd given Roy Bishop.
Do you remember who the gentleman was that sold you the contracts, the memberships?
I honestly don't remember. The gentleman came in and said, here's the paperwork.
An older gentleman?
An older gentleman came in and says, here's the
Doug Hodson?
That sounds familiar. Yes, I think so.
Okay. And so he sold you two memberships, basically.
Basically.
One full price and one half price.
He came in and dropped the paperwork off and said, I'm not going to bother you anymore. If you want to sign up, fine. If not, fine. I mean, it was no push. He just dropped the paperwork off and left. And I had to phone him and tell him I had a check for him. I had to find out whether I could get a discount on my other business. And then I was out on a call. Excuse me. And then when I came back, I had the check sitting there. He apparently came and picked it up. And nobody has ever been back to talk to me. Nothing.
The Chamber of Commerce.
The Chamber of Commerce. Nobody has been around to see me. They took my money. And nobody has come up and says, welcome, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this and
no ribbon cutting or anything?
No, I haven't had anything.
No follow-up calls? Nothing?
No, they told me I was going to get all this free advertising and everything, but nobody's been around to see me. And I thought getting in this I know the chamber is supposed to promote businesses, and that's why I got in there. But here I'm getting a double whammy. I have, and this is my perspective.
So the husband of the director.
Yeah, I mean,
he's getting your business.
Here is Samantha Bishop, who's vice president, welcoming me in. She stood up. She came to the meeting and stood up and said how much percentages if you keep local businesses, which was good. But on the
not
other
your
hand,
business.
But on the other hand, it's good, but I'm still losing. If Universal doesn't
But let's be clear about this. Her husband's business is not in Edgewater, correct?
No, it's in New Smyrna.
So if it's in New Smyrna Beach city limits or an unincorporated New Smyrna Beach, it's definitely not in Edgewater.
Definitely.
But so I guess from her point of view, and I can understand where she's coming from, where, okay, it's not going to somebody in Deltona or DeLand or Daytona Beach,
correct.
But still, it's taken from you to give to her husband.
Right. I mean, I feel as though I'm getting, no matter what I do, I'm going to lose. Unless the people see what's going on. I mean, that's why on my sign, I have right here, I thought about it. I mean, I put a lot of thought. A lot of people don't understand. It says right here, don't let Edgewater sell us out to special interest. Jobs are at stake. People don't understand. I feel as though the city has tied in with other organizations. The Chamber, the Economic and Development Board. Here I have Mr. Lott on both of them. Tracy Barlow is always with him.
What do you mean? He's always with Lott?
He's constantly there at City Hall. And Mr. Lott told me, don't go after Tracy Barlow. So I'm there like, don't go after it. The guy just stabbed me in the heart, in the back. He's killing me. So if he's doing good, if Mr. Lott's supposed to be doing me good, Tracy is killing me. So who's telling Tracy to kill me? I mean, hurt the business. I'm confused.
So you're confused because Lott has ties to the Chamber of Commerce.
To the Chamber.
He has ties with the city of Edgewater, and he has ties with his newspaper. Has there been anything written about you in the Observer newspaper?
There's been nothing. Like I said, you're the only person that's come up and said, "What's these signs? What's going on?" You're the only person.
What did you think when we did show up? But I mean, what did you think about the fact that I was like, "What's this all about?"
I was totally impressed. It's someone coming up asking.
Well, I don't want to come across as self-serving, but in reality,
really self-serving.
In reality, you know, it's not about tooting my own horn, but how could people not see those signs in journalism? And you know, with 2 weekly newspapers and a daily newspaper. I know they're not in New Smyrna, they're in Daytona now. They closed up their bureau in New Smyrna a couple of years ago, but still, you have a reporter assigned to Southeast Volusia, and he doesn't even call you to get your side of the story?
No, and I mean, to me, it's a big thing in Edgewater. I mean, Edgewater Towing has been there 25 plus years. It's an icon there.
And you've been there for 10 of them.
I've been there 10 of them. And it has a good reputation.